Yeah, Margaret, you certainly, you're not the only one to raise questions about Secretary Hegseth's judgment. Admiral Bradley, though, is considered by many to be highly decorated, well respected in the years that he has given a service to this country. You spent time as a judge advocate, a JAG. Talk to us about what this process would have been like. We assume Admiral Bradley would have had some consultations with JAG, and other advisors in the walk-up to the first strike, and then presumably before authorizing a second. Walk us through what should have happened there.
Yeah, so I was a JAG. I worked airstrikes in Iraq and Syria. And so whenever you're prosecuting an airstrike, the best practice is to have a lawyer with you and to give you legal advice on the law of armed conflict and whether or not your strike complies with it. So I imagine that Admiral Bradley likely had an attorney with him. But the legal advice throughout this process, when you get to even just the planning of the campaign to the execute order, whoever from the Joint Chiefs reviewed the execute order, the public has not been read in on that legal reasoning. And that is a real disservice to the public and to the people, their ability to analyze this. We don't have that full legal opinion. In the context of when the strike was actually happening, I imagine, and I don't know the facts, but I imagine that Admiral Bradley was probably talking to his judge advocate. And I think it's very easy for us to say there is no way that you could ever strike that. And I think most of us can say that looking at the facts. But I will say that these service members were put into an operation that has never before been attempted. And so if we are wondering why it is so murky, legally murky, to try to figure out what counts as still being in combat, who is an actual combatant, what is the target, it is because we are applying a terrorism framework to something that is not terrorism. And so in some sense, I have some amount of sympathy for the people that were in the kill chain there, only because they were being asked to do something that has really no historical or legal precedent or basis. Having said all of that, look, I think if the facts in the video are as they are, those are people that we should really be wondering if they should be making these judgment calls in the future.